I want you to understand that first and foremost, I do appreciate each and every one of you. This will be considered Dime Piece Incorporated 101 for spokesmodels. Ladies, how are you? This is Giovanni Charles, and I just want you to know that we appreciate you. Now, let me go ahead and jump right into it because you might need to understand a little bit more about Dime Piece to really embrace it. I don't want you to think that you've been invited into this organization so that you can sit back, look pretty, take pictures, and call it a wrap. What I want you to understand is that you've been asked to be a spokesmodel because you possess certain characteristics, certain qualities, certain attributes that compels me to believe that if given the right information, given the right opportunity, and given the right true platform to speak from, that the things that are naturally within you, the things that are inherently inside of you, will come out. They'll pour out, and they'll pour out with such a passion until the world will know, until everyone who hears your voice will understand that they can be greater than they are. They can be greater than they've been told they can be. They can actually 100% step onto the stage of life and perform as well as any celebrity. Okay, I want you to understand that as a Dime Piece spokesmodel, your position is real simple. You are supposed to speak. You are supposed to represent Dime Piece and our philosophy. You are supposed to represent an opportunity, a doorway, a threshold that's greater than any doorway that a person's ever walked through. When women hear you speak, the one thing they'll be looking for, most of the time, they'll be looking for your sales pitch. What exactly are you trying to sell? We're not selling anything. Because if we can't produce a product that will sell itself, we don't want it sold. That's number one. But number two, when it comes down specifically to spokesmodels, a spokesmodel is to represent 1,000,000%. She is to represent the philosophy of what Dime Piece is. She has to be well read. And the reason the reading is such a mandatory requirement is because without the reading, it will be impossible. It will be impossible for you to be prepared and polished so that when you speak, people will 100% literally hang on the edge of their seat to hear your next word. You know, and I know that there are so many times in your lives where you can speak to people and they just automatically do what you ask them to do because they have no choice. And the reason they don't is because you are a natural born leader. And by leader, I mean exactly that. You're the kind of person that no matter what you say, right or wrong, a person will take it as gospel because they believe in you. They respond to the energy you project, and with that energy, the only thing that they can honestly do is what you tell them to. And now what I'm asking you to do is learn how to understand your effect and influence on people, because when you do, you will then begin to open up the doors to your future, your destiny, your fate, your purpose. And your purpose is leading people the direction that you know is a benefit to them. I don't ever want any spokesmodel to ever say something that they're not sure of, which means you have to get the information. The information comes in many forms. One, the CD training as you're listening to now, but two, also with the reading. The reading is fundamental. Please believe me when I tell you, the reading will make the difference between you being able to interact with all or you being able to interact with a few people. I want you to know that more than anything else, the main thing that you have to understand is eventually you're going to close your eyes for the very last time on this planet. And when you do, people are not going to remember you for what you wanted to do. They're going to remember you for what you did. And the question is, what did you actually do in your life? If you think, I mean, for some of you, it might be easy, but if you really stop for a second and think, what was your great-great-great-grandfather's name? You may not even know that. And do you know why? Because perhaps this individual did not do anything that was monumental in life. Perhaps what they did was make sure the bills were paid and make sure that the house was there and the car was there. But they may not have done anything truly great, anything truly worthy of recognition years, decades after they've left the scene. So what I'm asking you is, who's going to remember you? Who's going to actually say, I'm so grateful this person was born because of them, they introduced a change into my life? Are you that individual? Have you been that individual? Do you think you could really truly be that individual? That because of your intervention, because of your ability to speak, because of your ability to understand, because of your ability to literally be a well-rounded person, you've made such a major difference in the lives of those who heard you. Let me tell you something. You got a whole generation of people that are lost as hell. They have no idea where they're going, where they're coming from. All they're trying to do is put band-aids on gunshot wounds. Only thing they're trying to do is find anything on this planet to make them feel good about where they are right now, because they have no direction. Ladies, let me tell you, Dime Piece spokesmodels, you will give them that new sense of direction. You will give them the direction that, yes, you can walk in this way and be better than you were. You can definitely walk away enhanced by being involved with Dime Piece Incorporated. You'll have a lot of models that will become models only because they enjoy your energy, only because they love your ability to make them feel better every single time they hear your voice. And that's what you have to understand. This is a very dark, cold world. And because it is, people are desperately seeking light. They're desperately seeking warmth. They're desperately seeking somebody who will be an encourager. That's not something that comes along every day. Most people hear more negativity than they'll ever hear positivity, because that is the nature of this planet. And because it is our job, it is our task to literally touch a person's life, build them up, and send them out saying in their heart, Dime Piece is way more than a clothing company. Dime Piece actually, for some reason, it felt like church. I've been told so many times, man, Dime Piece feels like church. And you know why they say that? Is because we literally introduced them to a part of the universe that they've never seen, and that's called hope. That's called direction. That's called faith. That's called really understanding why they've been born. Now that might sound far-fetched, but let me tell you something. It's my contention. I apologize. It's my intention to honestly produce spokesmodels that can literally change the world. You might not believe that you can, and it's okay if you don't, but I believe that you can. You don't have to believe that you have the ability. I believe you have the ability. And you know something? Yes, I'm the boss. So if I believe it, it must be so, or I'm just an idiot. And believe me, I'm far from an idiot. So ladies, I'm telling you, you have a power within each and every one of you. That's why you've been selected as a spokesmodel for this company. You have an ability within, just basically within your own thoughts. You can produce a person. Let me tell you something. There was some organizations I was in earlier in my life, and the one thing that we took pride in is we made people. What does that mean? You can make a person what you want them to be if you were born to be a leader. Unless, yes, I will confess, I am a leader. But you know what? I'm a leader who's learned how to train leaders. And you ladies are leaders. You're not just cute. You're not just hot as hell. You ladies are truly leaders. Your words mean a lot more than your looks. Trust me, and your looks are nothing to sneeze at. Your looks are something that people recognize all day long. Come on. Who doesn't notice how attractive you are? Well, that's real cute. But let me tell you what's real. Let me tell you what's really, truly important. It's not what you look like. It's what your mind is like. It's what you say to people that will mean the most, because I've seen attractive women, and once they start talking, they become so unattractive. But you know what? A Dime Piece spokesmodel is to be enhanced by every single breath she takes. Every single time she wakes up, she's supposed to be better than she was the day prior. And how do you guarantee that? Well, Giovanni, how can we really do that? Well, you do that by picking up a book. Now, you know what? I'm not going to ask you to write a book report. I'm not going to make it seem like it's a negative thing. If you don't want to read, if you really truly don't want to read, then that means you've been discouraged somewhere along the lines about being great. Reading is fundamental. The next thing I want to speak on, and this is really important, I want to speak on accountability. What does accountability, let me pronounce that. What does accountability actually mean? Accountability means the ability to maintain a resolution after the spirit in which the resolution was made has passed. In other words, if you say you're going to do something today, even if that feeling changes, you stick to your word because you gave your word. We want to teach ethics. We want to teach morals. We want to teach integrity to the young women that come behind you. Those are women who literally are seeking your wisdom. You're not. Listen, I'm gonna try to say this one more time. You're not just somebody who was born with your features and your intellect because God didn't have nothing else to do with those attributes. You're somebody who was born with that for a purpose. You're somebody who was created for a purpose, and God knows you met somebody like me for a purpose, not just for an interaction over the internet. And I can't pretend this whole internet thing is incredibly insane. Do you know how many people you can really truly reach? I mean, I'll be honest with you. Yvonne's page on MySpace is outrageous. I mean, I love what she's done. I love the way she's promoting the company on her MySpace page. Yes, MySpace, Black Planet, Facebook, all these different venues. And that's just a few. YouTube, you name it, it's there. And you know why it's there? It's there for more than entertainment. Internet entertainment is what the average, the common folks use it for. Come on, let's think a little bit bigger than that. Let's think a lot bigger than that. Let's think about really what we can truly do if we can get the word out. Let's really truly think about how many lives we can truly change if we get the word out. And definitely you want to include how you can change your life if we get the word out. Now let me tell you, I'll be totally honest with you. If you think for 1 second you're involved with just another company taking pictures, you're wrong. Because I myself, I know I have a purpose in life. I don't want to go into the pearly gates wishing I had done everything I was supposed to do when I had the chance. I don't want you to go into the pearly gates wishing that you had done more. Let me tell you something. There really are. Now, this is going to sound really pathetic, but there really are starving children in Africa. Right now, as you sit, some kid is dying. His last couple of minutes are going up because he had no food. He didn't waste his food. He had no food. His parents had no idea how to change the circumstance because no one ever took the time to show them. Well, you know what? Let's take it from Africa right back into New York. Let's take it to Brooklyn. Let's take it to Mattapan, Massachusetts. Let's take it into LA. You know what? You got parents on crack like crazy. You got young girls sleeping with cats only because they want to pay their rent. You got young girls sleeping with cats only because they want to get some new clothes. And you know something? In all honesty, we can make a difference. When a woman gives up her body just so she can get a material gain, that's because she does not know how to get the same material gain in a better way. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it because I understand the hustle. I understand what it's like when you really have to do what you got to do to get what you got to get. I understand what it's like when your back is up against a wall and you're doing all you can to get into a better position. So it's not like I'm knocking it, but what I'm saying is we are the better position. Every time somebody sees you, they see Dime Piece, and every time they see Dime Piece, they ought to see the Mecca. They ought to see that, through Dime Piece, I can really achieve something in life. Oh yeah, like I said, we're a new company. We're only 10 months old. And to be honest with you, yeah, I want to get us to the point where we can give away scholarships because there's some brilliant young people out there that need just a little bit of help. Yeah, I want to, you know what, this is my goal for 2007. I would love, as a matter of fact, I'm in the works of doing this right now with my attorney. I would love to donate 10% of all sales to some kind of abusive or non-abusive women's organization. In other words, like a battered women's organization or something along those lines. Because you have to understand that people do what they do because they've been exposed, introduced, and educated on doing it. They're not doing what they do because they sat down and weighed out the best odds. You know why people flock to churches? It's not because God won't speak to them. They flock to churches because they need encouragement. You know why people join all kinds of organizations? Because they want to be accepted by those who feel that they are equal to or better than. And you know what? We want the same mentality when it comes down to Dime Piece. We want a young lady anywhere in the country to feel that, you know what? I've got to be getting involved with Dime Piece. Because when I wear their garments, yeah, it feels good, but when I wear their garments, it changes the way I think about myself. It empowers me to be better than I was. That's what Dime Piece Incorporated represents. We are more than a clothing company. We are the company of change. You ladies are more than just models taking pictures. You're the spokesmodels of philosophy. You are the spokesmodel of spirit. You are the spokesmodel of peace, of harmony. Now, I know some of y'all might be saying, this cat is really wild, man. That Giovanni's off the hook. He believes this crazy stuff. Well, I do. I honestly believe that if you play your cards right, if you read your books, if you really honestly read your book, you'll stop somebody from committing suicide. How do I know? Because I've done that, and I didn't even look half as good as you ladies. I know I look boyishly young, but I didn't look half as good as you. But the one thing I did know is how to share the knowledge I had gained. I read. I still read. And do you know why I do? Because what I'm saying to you will affect your life. I've got to be very, very, very cautious. I've got to be very, very, very certain that what I'm saying to you is accurate information that will change your life for the better. And you'll do the exact same thing with those you speak to. Because you know something? There is nothing sadder than somebody who took your advice that ended up getting hurt because of it. So what we do is we make sure not to give out certain advice. We make sure not to give out any advice that we're not certain of. But more importantly than that, we make sure that we can always encourage somebody to be stronger, to be wiser, smarter, and better than they've ever been. Because we are life enhancers. Hear me clearly. We are worldwide dream builders. This is what we do. When a person looks at Tammy, they're not going to be looking at somebody, oh, she's pretty. They're going to be looking at Tammy and feeling her energy. When they look at Yvonne, they're going to feel the energy. When they look at Maggie or Melissa's, they're going to feel the energy. When they listen to Raquel, they're going to hear the energy. And why is that so important? Because money is a matter of energy. You know how you get the most money out of a person? Care about the individual instead of the sale. You know how you truly get the most out of any individual? Let them see that you care about them as the individual, not as a customer. Nobody likes being a customer. We are customers when we go to the grocery store. We don't expect them to give us love. We expect them to paper or plastic. That's what we expect. But you know something? Let a person at that grocery store befriend you. Let them really show that they care about you. Let the cashier give you a couple of coupons just because they like you. And you know what? You'll always go to the store that they work at, and you'll always go to their line because they showed an interest in you as an individual. Well, what do you think would happen if we show an interest in our clientele as individuals? When we do an open call, we're showing them that we care about them. When we talk to them, we're showing them we care about them. When they come to one of our competitions, they're understanding we care about them. You ladies will be doing that. That's your job. You are the ones that will build this company. I'm the one that will build you. When you ladies go out, like I said, we're definitely going to get involved with the Battered Women Abuse Organization. Some organization, I'm still looking, but some organization that does a real good work. But now my question is this. At their award ceremonies, all their donors come and say something. I want you ladies to come and say something. You know why? Because I want people to know. I want women to know. I want young women to know that they don't have to sacrifice their soul to make it in this society. You know what? Since I'm on it, why not hit the nail right on the head? I want you ladies to start going to strip clubs. You know why? Because somebody is stripping right now that don't want to. Somebody is dancing right now that really hates the job. For those who love it, leave them there. But for those who are just trying to pay their bills, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way, and you got that better way. Let me tell you something. Let me just say this to you so you clearly understand me. You now have the key that will bring peace into the lives of so many people. You now have the key to generate the money that will be donated towards a battered shelter, a battered women's shelter that will stop some woman from getting her brains kicked in. It's you. Hear what I'm saying? It's you that will give children toys during the holidays. I know you probably thought, well, will we be feeding people on Thanksgiving? Most definitely. And the food will never get cold because dime piece spokesmodels are hot as fire. So what I'm saying to you is this. Take what you're doing seriously. Take what you're doing to heart. Because what you're doing will affect people seriously. It will change people's lives. People will write you. I mean, all of y'all have emails. People will write you asking for relationship advice. People will write you asking for all kinds of advice. And you know what? What you tell them is going to have to come from an area that's precise, that's pure, that's righteous, and that's correct. And that's why I'm saying if you take your training and your learning seriously, you too will be able to stand up, open your mouth, and allow not what you've memorized to come out, but will allow the truth as you know it to flow freely. I can't tell you how very impressed I am with all of you, because all of you are perfectly divinely created. Your attributes are off the hook. I mean, when I say divinely created, what I'm saying to you is you've been blessed with an appearance. Don't think that it was given to you for your own benefit. It was given to you to benefit many people, which will in turn get you benefited as well. You have to understand one thing. You're going to make a decision today. And I want you to hear me clearly. You're going to make a decision today. If you really, truly, honestly want to see your effect and influence on people, why not walk into any store and watch how many people watch you? Hear what I'm saying? I want you to stand there in a store, and the only thing you have to do is look lost and see how many people run to your aid to give you direction because of your effect and influence on people. Your appearance speaks, and it will capture the attention. Your mouth will speak and capture the soul. Now you might not understand everything I'm saying, and believe me, there's some things I'm not even saying yet that's as deep as can be. There was an organization, a school, matter of fact, I'll say it, I went to a school called Virginia Union University, and I was a freshman at this school. This was a couple of years ago. I was a freshman, and I'm from New York, as y'all know. And me and my man, I had a kid that was with me from New York, and we shared a room. So we sit in the room. Some other guys is in the room, and they leave. I stayed on campus, so they leave. So I get this guy who runs in my room. Hey, New York, come on, we got some girls. So I'm like, well, I'm a freshman, plus I'm boyishly cute, so I'm gonna go get me some girls too, because ladies love Giovanni, right? So what happens is this: I get to the dorm that they got all these girls in, and there's this huge line, like maybe about 90 people, 90 guys online, right? I'm like, damn, they must be having a real crazy party in there. So finally, because I am a New Yorker, I don't really wait on lines. I kick doors in and kind of thing like that, So what I do is I jump the line. I walk in the room, and there's this one girl in the bed. Her name was Phyllis. And Phyllis is laying in the bed. And all these guys are expecting their turn to dog Phyllis out. All of these guys are expecting their turn to just have their way with her. So I look, and I'm like, you know what? Yo, I don't get down like this. My exact words are, yo, y'all niggas are gay. Because I don't get down like this. So me and my man, we walk out because we don't get down like that. Now, I'm not saying, hear what I'm saying, I'm not saying that all those guys in that line were bad people. I'm not saying Phyllis is bad. I'm just saying that's not my style. That's not how we rolled. So when I leave, me and my man, we get off campus, we go get something to eat. I did finally connect with a girl because ladies love Giovanni, right? So I spend the night with her. I'm coming back in around 6 in the morning, and Phyllis is pulling out around 6 in the morning. We literally pass each other on the, at the driveway. So I stopped and I was like, Phyllis, listen, man, I'm not judging you. I'm not knocking you, but I'm curious because Phyllis was, let me tell you, Phyllis was off the hook. So I'm like, Phyllis, just out of curiosity, man, you're beautiful. You're a beautiful young girl. I'm just curious, why would you even get down like that? And you know what she said? She said, it really doesn't matter what I do, because I realized that nobody would ever love me for who I am. They would only love me for what I look like. She said, my dad's a pastor, and he has sex with me. My uncle is a deacon, and he's had sex with me. So you can't tell me that there's a better place for me, because I've yet to find it. I was like, yo, you know what? For real, if you really feel like that, then I feel more sadder for you now than I did before I saw you right now. She appreciated it. She gave me her phone number, told me keep in touch. We drove off. Let me tell you, she was on my mind one day, so I called her house. They told me that Phyllis had committed suicide. They told me that Phyllis took her own life because she could not find peace and she could not find anybody that was in her corner. That may not sound like such a tragic thing because it was just Phyllis, just one person, right? No, ladies, let me tell you, no. That's happening as we speak. You got a lot of girls doing a lot of things that they'll end up regretting and possibly killing themselves over because they didn't know a better way. You represent that better way. You represent that brighter day. You literally represent the difference between a young girl having an abortion after abortion or a young girl realizing that her body is made for more than to be used as a human condom. You feel me? Dime Piece represents that. And what I'm asking you to do is to help me represent that. I can't do it alone. Look, I'm not going to front like I'm a millionaire because I'm not. Everything that I do with Dime Piece comes out of my own. I put every single penny I have on earth into Dime Piece because I believe in the philosophy. Yeah, the clothes are hot, but that's just a byproduct of the philosophy. Because the philosophy is hot. And what I'm asking you to do is help me push the philosophy. Help me reach women that need to be reached. Help me. Help you. Help others. We can do that. Come on, man. If you just take a chance, for real, just really honestly take a chance. You'll see that we can do that. You just have to believe we can, but we can do that. Every whore does not want to be a whore. Every prostitute's not walking the streets because they enjoy it. So what I'm saying to you is this. Before our young sisters turn bad, let's catch them and make them righteous. You feel me? Let's catch them and really show them that life is a big thing and the world is even bigger and there is a lot more going on good in the world than there is bad. Despite what their circumstances may look like. If you work with me, I assure you of two things. One, you'll get paid well. And two, you will never regret the experience. So I ask you, are you really truly willing to invest your life? Hear what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm saying it right. Are you willing to invest your life into the service of those around you on a humanitarian level? Are you willing to pick somebody up that's fallen and place them back on track? Because if you are, welcome to Dime Piece, man. I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. So on behalf of Dime Piece Incorporated, I just want to say thank you for listening. I just want to say 100% that I not only look forward to working with you, but I thank you all for what you've done so far, for promoting it everywhere you can go, for ordering your business cards, for believing in me. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day, and may God bless you and yours. Thank you.